So this is me testing the waters on Team USA videos. They've lost again. Lost to Nigeria. Now they've lost to Australia. Should be said, I don't know how to check the stats for these games, for what that's worth. These are exhibitions. I don't really care. I think we can still learn a lot from them. Should be said, Team Australia, they had a decent amount of NBA players. Patty Mills, Joe Ingles, Dellavedova, Thibault. They had Aaron Baines. He got hurt. I don't think the center was in the NBA. I can't remember seeing him before. And Team USA, on defense, they were getting roasted by Patty Mills in the fourth quarter. I mean, it was Patty. Sometimes, there was like one or two plays where he switched on to Kevin Durant and he either beat him or he got a foul. And they ran a lot of Patty Mills off-ball stuff in that fourth, and whether it resulted in him taking a three at the top of the key with Draymond and somebody else trying to close out on him, or him getting downhill to the rim, Team USA just really didn't know what to do, whether it was switch everything, whether it was trap on the ball. Somebody got open. There was one like corner screen that Australia ran. I don't remember who it was with, but they trapped the ball handler. And then the roller got a relatively easy roll to the rim. Like, the next line of defense wasn't really there. There was also another one where I want to say it was kind of a routine cut play up top from Australia, and it resulted in a pretty easy dump-off pass for a dunk. The defense was just a step slow everywhere. And I think that's the biggest thing, because the talent and the shot making is there for Team USA, of course, but the passing, the defense, the intensity, possession to possession, those are the real questions, and also who ends up being a leader amongst the group, and we'll see there. I guess as of right now, it's probably Draymond. Of course, KD is the best player. To think about Team USA's offense, the only really interesting thing they did in the fourth quarter, which, by the way, is when I really started watching this, was they ran a Beal-Levine screen where Beal set the screen for Levine, and it was like a classic pick and roll with a center, except it was with a two guard, and it was like, oh, that was pretty cool. They tried a couple Draymond up top and get some cut action off of that, but Australia was really good at seeing that coming, and they closed off some passing lanes, and they tipped some passes. Late there, when they were down 5 or something with a minute left, they ran a screen for Dame, and I think they might have had a second screen in there as well. This was when Draymond was at center, and Australia, they either brought 2 to Dame, but then they managed to get one guy back to one of the original screeners. Like, they really just blew up a play that you think would be impossible to defend given the personnel involved with it. And then they got Team USA like going into some driving kick, and they were just faster. They tipped a Draymond pass that was going to go to the corner or on the baseline or whatever, and that was pretty much what sealed it. So the chemistry is just bad right now on defense and offense. Like, yeah, KD had some tough threes. Levine had a tough three off of a pass from Tatum, but Australia was just a way smarter team. They understood each other's tendencies way more and all that stuff. The other thing, too, and this is something that Team USA is just going to have to deal with as it goes, the refereeing is different. Besides the obvious thing of you can hit the ball when it's on the rim, right? It's like little ticky-tack stuff that you can do in the NBA to draw a foul. It's not going to happen in international play. They're just going to let the play go on. And like, there was one play where Draymond got a rebound and pushed his guy to the ground, and there was no call. And it definitely would have been a call in the NBA. So it can benefit them at times, but it's also like if Kevin Durant busts out his rip-through move, they might not give it to you every time. And I think Australia was ready for that with the way that they managed to stay glued to USA guys when they were cutting or moving off the ball or whatever. So they're just going to have to be ready for that. To think about the roster, Keldon Johnson got some minutes, and when these games really count, you imagine that's not really going to be the case. Sorry, Keldon, I like you, but, come on. But I can't help but think that the only real question is whether it's Bam and Draymond or Draymond at center. Because besides that, I feel like this roster is a little redundant. Like, yeah, it's still talented, and they're still the favorites for the whole thing, but Are you really changing up that much if you sub out Bradley Beal for Zach LaVine or Jason Tatum for Jeremy Grant? I mean, you're getting worse there. Sorry, Jeremy, that's just how it is. Now, of course, they do have Middleton and Drew, and I believe Booker coming once Team USA or once the finals are done. So that's nice. Drew gives them more of that passing and defense that they need. I mean, in the past, they had LeBron and CP, so it was fine, but I think they're definitely feeling the loss of those guys. So, again, they're still favorited, but it is tough. Also, not having Steph, that one's pretty massive as well.